I'm going to talk about minimalist origami alphabets. If you've been to the gathering before, you probably know that I'm an origami artist, and I'm interested in very, very simple folds. So a number of years ago, a French folder, Jean-Jérôme Casalonga, proposed a definition of minimalist origami where you only get to make 4 creases. But even before he started investigating 4-crease folds, Paul Jackson from England investigated single crease folds. Now, when you have so few folds to make, you tend to get models that are very abstract or impressionistic or a little bit goofy, like this. And so these, we're using origami paper that is white on one side and colored on the other to kind of paint the image that we're interested in. And so I started playing with this, and I thought, well, the first thing I did was I folded 4 corners of the paper almost to the center, but not quite, and said, look, I've made the letter X. And that made me think, what other letters could I make in 4 creases? And so after many months of research, I came up with my 4-fold alphabet, which I was pretty happy with. But then I thought, well, that's not enough. We need lowercase letters, too. So I worked on that. Now, one of the challenges in making minimalist origami alphabets is creating counters. If you don't know what a counter is, it's a term from typography. It's an area of the paper that is completely surrounded by ink. And this leads us to a very interesting mathematical question, and that is, how many counters can you produce with just n folds? Now, you can't get any counters with 1 fold, but you can get 1 counter with 2. And you can see that in some of my letters. And you can get 2 counters with 3 folds. You'll see that in the B. That's the letter that has the most counters. And so I did some research, and I actually came up with a method where by creating 3 plus m folds for any value of m, each additional fold adds m more counters. Of course, at this point, we're way past minimalist. We're using far too many folds. Ever since I created my 4-fold alphabet many years ago, people have asked me this question: why 4 folds? And I always answered, because you can't do it in 3. I guess I was wrong about that. I want you to look carefully at these letters. And these are all 3-fold letters, not 4. And here is my 3-fold uppercase alphabet and my 3-fold lowercase alphabet. I've actually had to recycle a few letters in this case. Some of the lowercase are the same as the upper, the S, the X, the Z, but you can just make them out of smaller paper. So before I start telling everybody that you can't do it in 2 folds, I have to ask, and this was also in 2 folds, in case you weren't looking. And here is my uppercase 2-fold alphabet and my lowercase 2-fold alphabet. So one of the things that I find, and I really think you can't do it in 1. So, but one of the things that really surprised me when I was able to do this with 2 folds was the vast variety of shapes that you're actually capable of achieving with just 2 creases. And so that brings us to another interesting mathematical question, which is, how many different shapes can you make with 2 folds? And of course, that requires a strict definition of what constitutes different shapes. But I'm sure that if we work hard enough, we can come up with a definition that will provide us with a meaningful answer. And I would just like to acknowledge some of the people who have inspired my work or just put up with it. And thank you.